After months of a bitter dispute over delays in vaccine delivery, the European Union has finally taken AstraZeneca to court. This company was once the pillar of the EU's vaccine rollout. It is now fighting a legal battle with the same bloc. And this is the ultimate story of a relationship going bad. The repercussions will be felt by every party involved, because this vaccine is being used and produced around the world. First, some context. The EU and AstraZeneca have been at odds for months now, all the way back to March, when 16 European Union nations suspended the AstraZeneca shot over increasing reports of blood clots. Then in the month of April, the European Medicines Agency confirmed a possible link between the AstraZeneca vaccine and the rare blood clots being reported. This led to more suspensions, with some EU nations restricting the use of AstraZeneca. We're now in the month of May, and the European Union has now sued AstraZeneca over delays in vaccine delivery. How did a dispute on vaccine safety turn into a logistical battle? The answer is a mix of business and politics. I'll begin with the business. You see, EU nations had suspended the shot, but they were still receiving the doses because the contract they had signed had not ended. Some countries were receiving the doses and supplying them abroad. Some were using them at home with restrictions in place. Last year, the European Union and AstraZeneca had signed a $1 billion agreement to supply vaccines for the next 3 years. How many total doses did the contract mention? 400 million. How many doses were expected by the end of the first quarter of this year? 120 million. How many doses has AstraZeneca delivered so far? Only 30 million. How many doses are still pending? 90 million. And when again does the deadline end? Next month, mid-June. These numbers are at the crux of this legal battle. The European Union says the shortfalls in vaccine delivery have hampered its efforts to inoculate the bloc. It wants AstraZeneca to deliver the remaining 90 million doses before July or face financial penalties. AstraZeneca denies having failed in its obligations. It has called the lawsuit unfounded. It claims to have warned the European Union well in advance about the delays. According to their lawyer, the EU had been informed about the delays as early as the month of February and has expressed surprise that the bloc waited 2 months to take the matter to court. Now, this was the business angle of the story. Now let's turn to the political dimension. The European Union is also accusing AstraZeneca of favouring the United Kingdom in its deliveries. What's their explanation behind this charge? The fact that AstraZeneca developed its vaccine in association with UK-based Oxford University. The European Union says it is because of this association that the vaccine maker seamlessly delivered jabs to the UK and defaulted significantly on the pledges made to Europe. Questions are being raised on the contract itself. The EU says the contract it signed with the vaccine maker promised 2 things. 1, ensuring deliveries to EU using production facilities both in the EU and UK. And 2, an assurance from AstraZeneca that it had no other contracts which might get in the way of fulfilling its commitments. But in the contract with the United Kingdom, the EU says, and I'm quoting again, AstraZeneca appears to have promised the UK priority for the first X million doses using production facilities in the EU as well as the UK. Now, this doesn't add up. What does AstraZeneca have to say about this? The company has said that the contract was never binding and that it only committed to making, quote unquote, the best reasonable efforts in delivering the doses. The matter, as we said, has reached the court. Lawyers from both sides are making their points. The first hearing took place on Wednesday morning. The second one is scheduled for Friday. We'll be following this case too. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.